Hey guys, we've got some frog theory here today, and what I'll be demonstrating is going infinite in Dota 2. Now, that word is somewhat misleading because most of what I'm going to demonstrate are actually indefinite values, not infinite values, and that's because they're generally derived from voluntary loops, so you get to decide when to stop. That's the key thing. True infinite just keeps going and you have no control over it at all. Um, so we're gonna start off with some simple cases of going infinite. So the one everyone knows, flesh heap, you can keep getting flesh heap stacks. There's no, hard cap. So as long as you keep killing enemy heroes, you can gather not an infinite, but an indefinite, an arbitrarily large amount of strength from flesh heap, which translates, of course, into um, arbitrarily high attack damage, health, and anything that scales off strength, such as Ethereal Blade. Now, we've got Legion Commander here as well.
Without
Dual
a
damage is
doubt.
very similar to Flesh Sheep, with the additional caveat of being able to give any other hero the potential to have arbitrarily high damage. So, LC is a generous person. Seems good. Now we've got Shadow Demon here, and something that I guess probably like isn't particularly noteworthy is the fact that you can actually go past 5 stacks. I mean, at least I didn't really pay attention to this detail. I just knew that you needed 5 stacks to do really high damage with Shadow Poison. But anyway, after 5 stacks, you get 50 more damage per stack. So, and of course the stack keeps refreshing once you reapply it. So you can keep stacking Shadow Poison to your heart's content, and the damage will keep ticking up, albeit by 50. So it's kind of boring, but you know, you can get there. Something arbitrarily high with the Shadow Poison. And then here we have Ursa, Fury Swipes, of course, famous for in the Year Beast, that one Year Beast event. Fury Swipes was notably good because you can keep stacking Fury Swipes as long as you get it in during the reset time. Well, that would be the debuff duration, I guess I should say. And the neat thing is that it's really long on heroes, 15 seconds. So you can, what else? 15 seconds, Shallow Grave, or with Octarine 11. But basically, you can start applying Fury Swipes, and then when you get low, Grave, and then once Grave is over, stop hitting, wait for Grave to come back up. Since Fury Swipes last 15 seconds on heroes, it's gonna last a while. Keep doing that. And just wait for Grave again, and you can just keep taking it up to something absurd. So these are the simplest cases of indefinite numbers here. All those use stacks, or acquiring stacks or applying stacks. Now the next category of indefinite damage I will be displaying here is kiting a projectile. So here we've got Elder Titan. If we just throw out the spirit here, have Keeper of the Light recall him, and then have Elder Titan recall his spirit. It's gonna start flying down mid lane. Let me get these three together. So yeah, spirit's just kind of chilling. It's gonna hit some stuff in the mid lane. And then eventually it's gonna reach Elder Titan. Unless... Oh wait, whoops. I almost missed that one there. Unless you send him back, in which case the spirits, gotta go all the way back across the map. And there are some new creeps to hit here. Then you get the idea here. As soon as spirit gets to the base here, call him. And by now there are some new creeps right here. And Elder Titan, when his spirit returns, you'll have some absurd damage, and you can keep repeating this ad nauseum. And let's see how much damage this is. Probably didn't hit too much because I didn't align it quite right. 150, yeah, it's a modest amount. And yeah, you can. Simplest way.
The enemy's middle tower didn't know what hit it.
Going up and down mid lane, but you can also be creative, do some like going around all the lanes or the jungle or something. I don't know. But that's the gist of Elder Titan. Now the next one is something a little less obvious. Is Outworld Devourer here. So we're gonna have a similar setup with Keeping the Light and Chen. And what we're gonna do is start sending him back. We're gonna Hurricane Pike, and then we're gonna attack him a few times. And we've got some Arcane Orbs flying across the map. And the interesting, well, maybe not necessarily interesting, but the neat thing here is that recall and send back. Oh shit. Okay, I had that. Alright, well, I'm gonna need to do this one again for a demonstration. But if I didn't accidentally throw out that first auto attack, I would have canceled recall. Well, also I need to recall earlier. That was just sloppy by me. But anyway, what I was gonna say is recall and send back do not disjoint projectiles. So I'm gonna try this again. Send back. Wait, what? No way, Hurricane Pike's range is that low? Okay, well, this is getting awkward now. Let's recall once more. Let's not mess this one up. This one is definitely more prone to execution errors. So let's send them back. Okay, got some orbs flying up. Keep following them. So maybe about when I think it's right there, let's start recalling. You can see orbs coming, and they're flying right back. Oops. I think we can start sending it back. Alright. So we got orbs flying back. I didn't time that quite so that these orbs stacked, but just for a proof of concept. I'm gonna have him grave himself.
My shadow falls.
Yeah, so I didn't stack the orbs correctly. I didn't time the send back just right to kite the orbs, but basically you can have an arbitrarily large amount of orbs just flying down mid lane. You're kiting them with send back and recall. They don't get disjointed, and whenever you want to end the loop, you'll just grave yourself, get hit by whatever number of arcane orbs, and then you'll have some massive int, 28 int here. And that will of course translate to attack damage. You've got arbitrarily high mana, which gets mana void really high. You also, with the addition of spell damage, really any spell or item that deals damage that OD has can go infinite. It's pretty neat. So this was pretty much possible as soon as Arcane Orb began to steal int, but that means you could only throw one orb per cycle because you would have to time the orb so that they get sent back mid-air, or while the projectile's in the air. And that's pretty boring, also just not obvious. I only found out about this orb kiting thing because of Hurricane Pike. It became a lot more obvious to do this. Anyway, enough of that. I've got one more scenario of infinite. Well, okay, no, involuntary, I should say. There's a real infinite. So if you read my previous frog theory, I mentioned that a Razor Caudal Rubik infinite static link damage exploit was banned, and that is true. There is a combo, like an indefinite loop
Yes, it pleases me.
that you can execute with using Razor and Caudal on the same team and then Rubik on the opposite team. You can get infinite static link damage, but at the moment it's purely theoretical because there's actually a bug that will cause the game to crash when trying to execute it, when theoretically there really is no issue. So
With pleasure.
I'll demonstrate that next, because I'm too lazy to re-get a Lotus Orb on one of these enemy heroes. Also, I think there's something else. Oh, right. I was actually forgetting another infinite. My bad. Alright, let's just drop these Hurricane Pikes. So, if you give bots, what was it, Bloodthorn? Yeah, so Orchid and Bloodthorn, when you cast it again on a hero who already has the debuff, it'll just refresh the duration, and oh, whoops. Well, anyway,
Absolutely.
the debuff, the amp damage, it retains the damage that it was going to deal at the end. Does not get dealt. So that means as long as you keep the Orchid going, or Bloodthorn in this case, as long as you keep it going on a single person, and they can heal up and stuff in between. As long as they just maintain a permanent Bloodthorn debuff, you can theoretically have an arbitrarily large Soul Rend burn. That's the name of it, right? Soul Rend? Pretty sure. Anyway, yeah, Soul Rend and Soul Burn. That's the one I was missing, and you can do it with like any hero, so I keep forgetting it. Alright, so for the true infinite, let's get Dazzle back here. Gonna need him. So for the true infinite combo, I believe this was posted on Reddit before, but basically, oops. Let's get some stacks going. And this one I'll just do WTF load because it doesn't really matter. So let's put on a few stacks on Dazzle. So, whoops. I want to save that. I'm getting a little sloppy here. Let's reapply. And then we can Blood Rage him. Apply a few stacks. Grave him, grave himself. And then there you go. As long as So if you haven't seen that post on Reddit about bristleback and enemy blade mails, basically, if you have your quills do enough damage so that when it's reflected by a blade mail, that like it's enough damage to proc the bristleback, like the passive reactionary quill spray, then it will create an infinite loop where that that next spray of quills will again be blade mailed, go back to him, proc another quill spray, and generally it actually does not go infinite because one hero dies. But if you have Shallow Grave, an effect like Shallow Grave, it can also do Wraith King's Aghanims upgrade. If you have Bristle under effect of or one of those effects, and you have the Blade Mail hero also under one of those effects, then you will get infinite loop because none of them will die. It just keeps reflecting. So
I'll pick.
I
What's
believe
the flavor
this
of the month?
exploit has been possible for a really long time, but it's a lot easier now that the Blade Mail after Blade Mail got changed in 6.87, such that it does not take in the like the hero with the Blade Mail. It doesn't take into account how much damage they take. So you don't actually need Shallow Grave on the hero with Blade Mail. You can do something like Cold Embrace from Winter Wyvern, or like Winter's Curse even. Anything that mitigates Quill Spray 100% works. Guardian Angel, another example. Stuff like that. I think even Abaddon's Borrow Time and Oracle's False Promise, those should work as well. But anyway, this exploit, I imagine, has been
10
pretty old.
seconds remaining.
But I don't personally know, but yeah, it's been a lot more obvious
5 seconds remaining.
ever since Blade Mail got changed. And a really elegant fix for that bug, because pretty sure having infinite loops in the game is not healthy.
Prepare for battle.
So probably an elegant fix would be to give quills created by the bristleback passive. Those quills should probably have a no reflection tag, like every other reflection spell uses. That would clean up that issue of an infinite loop without really affecting its balance. I don't think it really would affect its balance. Maybe Nyx gets a nerf in that regard, but it's still probably for the better.